Well, hello and good morning. Again, this is Jeff Hooks. It is my privilege to welcome all of you. It is my honor to welcome all of you to our VNI partner training for this Saturday, January 4th, 2020. So this is obviously our first official partner training. I know many of the leaders have been conducting trainings with their groups, but this is the first company-wide training for the year 2020. And so I hope you're excited. I want to refer briefly to my last sentence in my welcome chat that hopefully you saw. For those of you that are dialing in over the phone, we're glad you're here, but I'll read it out loud to you. I basically said, let's make 2020 a breakout and breakthrough year for you, all capitals, and your team. And I want to really start with that. Let's go ahead and kind of roll up our sleeves and get down to some work here. It's going to be a full hour. I've got about an hour and a half worth of content I've prepared, and we've just got an hour to share it. So if you're brand new or if you're one of our seasoned leaders, this message and this training, this content is for you. And that's as straightforward and simple as I could put it. I hope you've got a pen and paper, unless you're driving, or some sort of digital device so that you can capture some of these ideas. We never talk about theory or untested theories on this platform. We always share with you best practices from real world experience in the world of VNI. So if you're brand new, hopefully that gives you some confidence. It gives you some security to know that we're going to help you get through this learning curve and get profitable quickly, start building your customer base, and reach your goals as we move into 2020. I was thinking I want to start with maybe just kind of a macro discussion, if you will. As we start a new year, most of us, if not all, have some sort of vision of excitement entering a new year. Now, that's true whether, in this case, 2019 might have been a year of progress for you. I hope it was in every major area of your life. Hopefully there's been progress. Hopefully there's been restoration. But certainly there were challenges too. And that's true for me as well. Jim Rohn used to say, opportunities mixed with difficulties. That's what life is. Opportunities mixed with difficulties. And that's true personally and professionally. And it's true for me, and I'm sure it's true for you. And so as we set the sails for 2020, I want to ask you a bit of a rhetorical question. Let me take a look and see who's all here. Got a lot of people dialed in on the phone, which is great. I just want to remind you that if you're ever able to dial in, even from your smartphone or tablet, you're going to see I'm going to be pushing out a PowerPoint. So we're glad you're here without question. But if you have the option, you're always better off to join via a connection where you can see the PowerPoint. But again, this platform allows for the flexibility of both. So if as we start and embark on 2020, how many of you want opportunity in the new year? Question. So obviously you can chat me if you want, or you can just answer it in your own mind. Dr. Watson, I do too. I'm wanting opportunity. I've always been interested in opportunity, and we're going to talk VNI, but specifically opportunity to bless my family. I've just recently married within the last, less than a month and a half. Our founder and chairman and CEO says, me too. As we enter a new year, I think certainly everyone that's plugged into this event, live or recorded, we want opportunity to make progress in the areas of our life that are important. Maybe that's physical health. Maybe that's financial. Maybe it's getting out of debt. Maybe it's, the sky's the limit. But opportunity. I want to share with you that it's kind of interesting. I was thinking about this over the last couple of days as I was driving around to various meetings in Charlotte, where I live, obviously, Charlotte, North Carolina, right across town from Ed and Gina and really across town a little bit further from Rebecca Sidden and Ken Nasmitz and Mike Boston and others. I don't want to leave anybody out, but Mike Dannenberg, Heather Dannenberg, and on and on and on. We've got some amazing leaders in the area. And I was thinking about all the businesses. Specifically what spurred this thought was a new restaurant opened in a very nice retail area called Blakeney, if you're in the Charlotte area. And the same restaurant, this new restaurant, opened in a place where at least 3, if not 4, previous restaurants have failed. And I thought to myself, these are, if you look behind the scenes, whoever launched that restaurant, he or she or they certainly have big dreams, big goals, a big vision, big hopes for 2020 and beyond. So much so that they bet the farm. I mean, literally, it's an extremely expensive space. It's A+ retail space where they opened the restaurant. The price per square foot for leasing the space has got to be extraordinary. We're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. The equipment, the tables, the kitchen, the stoves, all of that. They went, metaphorically, they went all in to make this restaurant a success. And oh, by the way, there are another 20 restaurants within a block and a half of this restaurant. So how do you win in that environment? You offer a great product. Hopefully it's priced where the customers think it's of value, great service. You got to hire good people. I mean, you've got all the details of running a business. And yet that restaurant, I can promise you, the owners of the previous 3 or 4 restaurants that failed in that exact same spot, they put their best foot forward too. They went all in. They tried to hire the best people. They tried to run a good restaurant. They tried to serve a good product. They tried to provide good customer service, and it didn't work. And yet another restaurant opens. I was thinking about Sarah, my wife, and I just purchased a mattress. That was our Christmas present to each other. And so we did some mattress shopping in December. And I never noticed, but I don't know if this is true in your town, but those of us that are in Charlotte, there are mattress stores at almost every corner in Charlotte. And these are mattress stores that are basically offering the same products. I mean, so you talk about competition. You're offering the same product from the same manufacturers. How do you differentiate your product from anybody else's? So I picked a restaurant and I picked mattress stores. I could pick an appliance store. People already have a TV, most people, and yet there are appliance stores, multiple in every city around the country and around the world, the Western world. How do you succeed in that business? And so what I want to do by making these comments is sometimes we see the world as we are, not as it is. I want you to write that down. We see the world as we are, not as it is. And so sometimes for some of the leaders and emerging leaders that have been part of VNI for a long time, you're not looking at VNI from a fresh set of eyes because you're very comfortable. You already know the impact that our products are making on the world. And I think we have to, as we set sails for 2020, I think we need to remind ourselves, we need to get reconnected to the amazing value proposition that all of us have with Victory Nutrition International. So from a partner standpoint, think about it this way. We sometimes think that, again, we see the world as we are, not as it is. We sometimes think, nobody's really looking for opportunity. Employment's pretty high, no matter which side of the aisle you're on politically. Employment's pretty high. Doesn't mean everybody loves their job. So you could easily talk yourself into thinking, there aren't a lot of people looking for opportunities. But yet in every town across the US and Canada and around the world, aspiring men and women are launching businesses like that restaurant. They're going all in because they're looking for opportunity. We, with VNI, have an opportunity with no parallels because you don't have to bet the farm. You don't have to take a big loan or raise capital to launch your VNI business. All it takes is a couple $100 and some desire. And you can launch your own business and create amazing change and opportunity in 2020. Building a customer base and building a business, moving products that are blessing people, proprietary products that you can't get anywhere else, patents, patent pending, trademarks, scientific validation. And it's not my TV is better than the TV you can get next door at the business next door, or my TV is cheaper. You know, my ProDivite is better than the ProDivite you can get at GNC, or my Brain Reward is better than the Brain Reward you can get off of QVC or Home Shopping Network. These products are proprietary, exclusive, and you as authorized partners are the only ones that can bring it to the marketplace. So I think sometimes, again, why are people betting, men and women betting the farm to launch businesses where again, mattress stores, I promise you there are 50 mattress stores within 10 to 12 miles of me. I kid you not, in Charlotte, North Carolina, and that may be 40, but no less if you look at all the different types of brands. And so there's massive competition. People are looking for opportunity. They just don't know what to do. And they're never going to know what to do with VNI as a viable option unless you share it, So as we set the sails for 2020, I think it's important for all of us, myself included, to take a second and be mindful of the amazing opportunity we have right in our laps with VNI. It's a blank canvas. You can paint your future based on your own efforts with VNI. And that's not being over dramatic. That's an absolute fact. So the question is, what is your vision for 2020 and beyond with your VNI business? What is your vision? What do you want to create? What kind of opportunity for yourself and your family do you want to create, taking these amazing products to a world that needs these products, taking this incredible VNI mission, the opportunity as an authorized partner to a world that is looking for opportunity. We see the world as we are, not as it is. So it's important that we see clearly 2020 vision, that we see clearly what the opportunity is that's right at our feet. Now, I want to suggest that all of you read, and you can find it, I'm sure, for free online, but there's a book called Acres of Diamonds. I'm going to send that in the chat bar. Acres of Diamonds. And it's by Russell Conwell. Russell Conwell, Conwell, for those on the phone. Acres of Diamonds. I want you to read, it's a short story, and I'm not going to try to even summarize it. I encourage you this weekend, hopefully today, to take 10 minutes, 15 minutes and read that story. And think about your VNI business. In short, I said I'm not going to summarize it, and I'm not, but in short, the message, and I want you to read it because it's so well written, and it's a true story. Well, I think it's true. If it's not, it's metaphorically true, because I know people in my own life that have the same story with some of the details different. But the idea is, so many of us are looking for opportunity out there. The grass is greener. It's, always looking for, and I don't think anybody necessarily in this meeting or this event, but it's human nature. We're opportunities out there. It's the grass is greener. It's the hype of the marketplace saying that something's easy or fast or whatever. And so we always think that opportunity is something out there that's just out of reach, instead of recognizing it's right where we are, with VNI specifically, to bloom where we're planted. And that story brings into mind the importance of recognizing. We always talk about timing, and business leaders and thought leaders talk about, entrepreneurs talk about timing. Economists talk about timing. And I think it's important, being at the right place at the right time. I think it's important to mention, as we set the sails together for an exciting 2020, it's important to recognize that timing, there's several components to timing that we need to look at. First of all, you got to be at the right place at the right time. And again, I want to encourage you to read Acres of Diamonds by Russell Conwell. Secondly, you got to recognize you're at the right place at the right time. With gratitude, you got to have the mindset, say, you know what, VNI is it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for me to change my future by helping others and create some extraordinary opportunities for myself and my family in 2020 and beyond. You've got to recognize, so being at the right place at the right time, recognize that you're there, and third, take action. You got to take action. We can be at the right place at the right time. We can even recognize that we're there. But if we don't take action, if we don't do the daily disciplines, then all we're doing is being a spectator in somebody else's story. We're watching the world go by instead of engaging and creating some positive change in our own lives. So pay attention to that. Again, just give some thought. I encourage you to give some thought to your own communities as you're driving around. Look at the businesses. Look at the ways creative men and women are trying to provide for themselves and their families. Look at the risks that people are taking to try to own their own future, to try to create their own future, to try to build their own businesses. And recognize that I'll put the VNI model side by side with anything: franchising, opening up a restaurant, opening up a mattress store, you name it. And look at the fact that, now here's the key. Even if you're building your VNI business part-time, even if you're focusing on sharing these amazing products, blessing people physically, with the products, and financially with the business model, and you're doing it on a part-time basis, which most of our partners do. That's the beautiful thing about this model. But here's the key. Treat it with the commitment and the passion. Treat it, being your VNI business. Treat your VNI business with the commitment and the passion, as if you went all in on a restaurant at the same location, where you're locked into a $15,000 a month lease, and employees and overhead and legal exposure and headaches and employee theft and on and on and on and on. Treat your VNI business with the same commitment and passion and intentionality, even though you're working it part-time, that you would if you'd have gone all in on a traditional business. If you'd have gone all in and be stuck at a retail location, 10, 12 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week, just trying to make ends meet. Think about how many $15 entrees you have to sell to cover a $10,000 to $15,000 a month space lease. That doesn't even include employees' income, salaries and wages, insurance, liability insurance, equipment, on and on and on, heating and air condition, and on and on. So again, I think sometimes, and we all can get a little bit spoiled. We can all get a little bit comfortable because we know how amazing the VNI products are. But again, we see the world as we are, not as it is. So I think it's important as we move into 2020 to have a clarity of vision and be mindful of the timing. We are at the right place at the right time. And I want every one of you to recognize you're at the right place at the right time to create some amazing change in your positive progress in your life in 2020. But we got to take action, and you've got to take action. I I don't want to forget this. I want to share, we always talk about leaders or learners, and I want to share with you, I want to pass on a book recommendation that Heather Dannenberg gave me right before Christmas. It was sometime in the first half of December, and I purchased it on audiobook.
Your progress.
It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. Atomic Habits. And I got to tell y'all, you want to feed your brain and heart some positive food, then get this book. Either listen to it, I get it on Audible, or purchase it, however you want to do it, Kindle, whatever you want to do. But Atomic Habits by James Clear. It is an amazing book. And I'm not even going to try to summarize it because I don't have time right now. Put that on your reading list. If you want to create some breakthrough change in 2020, take Atomic Habits. It is an amazing book. Thank you, Heather Dannenberg, for your leadership and for that recommendation. Now, we always talk about, again, leaders or learners. Yesterday, I listened to it's actually a sermon from Andy Stanley. He's an amazing leader and influencer. And I have his app, so I have free content from his app. And he talked about the sermon was called Self-Leadership, and it was 3 basic decisions. The first decision, I did screenshots. The first decision is I will not lie to myself. Okay, so again, talking about we see the world as we are. So being honest with yourself. I know there's some glare. Sorry about that. I will not lie to myself even when the truth makes me feel bad. Decision 2, I will prioritize what I value most over what I want now. I will prioritize what I value most over what I want now. That's the whole concept of delayed gratification. And then finally, number 3, I will not, it's again, the whole talk was on self-leadership. Decision 3, I will not attempt to lead myself by myself. So that's the importance of having a mentor or having multiple mentors. And I just wanted to share those with you because I want you to hopefully get inspired to start looking at your daily habits, your personal, do you have a personal growth plan? And we're all busy, but the reality is there's with modern technology, there's absolutely no excuse. Even if you're not a reader, you can do audiobooks or video. That was a video presentation for free. I downloaded the app and I can watch and listen to all that content for free. So there's no excuse. Candidly, I say this in the spirit of partnership and collaboration. There's no excuse to not be pouring, putting some good input into your brain and heart. It's been my experience. It's a very negative world. And for leaders to have vision as we move into 2020, a vision that compels people to follow you, that where you're influence, you're sharing the VNI products and people are open to that message. Not everybody, it's a sorting process. We're going to talk about that. But the more you can increase your self-leadership, your personal and professional growth, then the more effective you're going to be at sharing the VNI story. So leaders are learners. Leaders learn to lead themselves, self-leadership. And the question always becomes, I'm looking in the mirror always when I'm sharing these thoughts, is, am I someone that people would want to follow? Am I someone, where can I grow in my leadership, my self-leadership, where I can be more effective at leading others and in a positive direction? So that's the beautiful thing about VNI, folks. We, with all due respect to lots of other ways to make a living, our products change lives. We've got, all of you that have built a customer base, that. And the world needs these products. All we have to do is share the VNI brand and products with the world that needs it. That's the responsibility. That's the privilege. That's the opportunity in 2020 is getting this brand, this 6-year-old brand, deeply entrenched into the marketplace where it deserves to be. And so in order to do that, it's important to be excited about your 2020. If you're not excited about, and I'm talking consistent with your personality, I'm not talking hype. If you're an introvert, you can still be an introvert, but be passionate and have strong belief and conviction in what we're doing. Think about, I'm looking outside my home office window. The sun just broke through. It's been raining for 2 days. There are people jogging. I'm sure New Year's resolutions. I'm seeing people, I probably should have shut the blinds. I'm seeing people jogging and walking and running. Most of them have New Year's resolutions to live healthier lives, maybe to lose weight, maybe to continue to lose weight. You know, I'm on that trajectory myself with a long way to go. Maybe it's to get out of debt, pay off, you know, some student loans, supplement retirement, get out of a job, you know, replace income out of a job where they don't feel appreciated or they're miserable. Everybody's got dreams and goals of some sort. And so the key is you and I need to be excited about what we're doing. We need to be passionate. If we're not passionate, if we're not excited, why would anybody follow us? And the beautiful thing is we've got the tools now that make it so easy to share. And we'll talk more about that. So anyway, that was, you know, thank you for indulging me. That was, you know, a New Year's message that I've been thinking about over the last several days and last couple of weeks, actually. Now I want to start my screen share, and we're going to get into a training that I prepared. We're going to take the last half hour and cover some meat and potatoes that I think are going to be very important for helping you reach your goals. Okay. VNI partner training, creating a breakthrough 2020. That's what we're going to be talking about. So, and again, I think I want this training for all of us to sit on a foundation of enthusiasm and passion for what's possible for your VNI business this year. That's the whole purpose of that. It's mindset. It's again, acres of diamonds. We see the world as we are, not as it is. So it's important that you recognize that you are at the right place at the right time. And hopefully you're inspired to take action. Hopefully you're inspired to create positive change. Because listen, think about your VNI business. Think about the privilege of sharing these products. And with all due respect to restaurateurs as an example, I could have picked other careers. But compare the freedom and flexibility that you have to go out. The company doesn't limit you. I don't limit you. Bill and Kim Downs don't limit you. You can go out. You can build as big of a business as you can dream, as big of a business as you're willing to work for. You're not stuck on a street corner. You don't have to show up at work and punch a clock, and the sky is the limit. With VNI, the sky was the limit. You literally can go out and design and create a business, but that takes leadership. That takes self-leadership. So that's why I wanted to spend a little bit of time being mindful. People are waking up right now, men and women in your communities that want a new opportunity. They want to live healthier, and they don't know what to do. Some of them are getting ready to make some mistakes. They're getting ready to bet their life savings on maybe it's a restaurant where 3 or 4 previous restaurants have failed in the same location, but they think magically it's going to be different for them. And maybe it will be. But hey, how about keep your money in savings and let's roll up our sleeves over the next few years and build an amazing VNI customer base. And let's build a partner team and let's go crown ambassador. How about that? And you can do it part-time until the income gets to a point where you can go full-time when it's a non-decision, if that makes sense. So how do we do that? All right. So the VNI Life app, folks, I want to come back to that. We launched this September 1. Exposure ratios have gone up significantly, but the VNI Life app, if you're brand new, I want you to understand this is the key to creating duplication in your business. It's that you can literally build a huge customer base and a huge partner team from your own smartphone or tablet. And all the tools are right at your fingertips. So we want to make sure that you're teaching and training that. I had a lunch with one of Ken Nasmith's new partners right before Christmas, and I took 5 minutes and showed him the app. And his response was, "This is amazing. This is beautiful." He said, "I'm so busy he runs a business, a real estate business." He said, "I'm so busy in my day to day that this app, the VNI Life app, is going to make it simple for me to share and keep track of who I'm sharing with." So please don't underestimate the power of this platform that we as a company have invested heavily in to make life easier for you, to help you spread your wings in 2020 and reach your goals. So we always talk about staying plugged in, just like you're doing today, the importance of staying plugged in. The Saturday trainings, this coming Monday, the first Monday of every month, this coming Monday at 8 o'clock. Bill Downs and Steve Kushner, our founder and CEO, Bill Downs, our co-founder and head of research and development, Steve Kushner, are leading our monthly product call. And yesterday I saw the content that they've prepared for that call, and you're not going to want to miss it. Talk about setting the sails for health and wellness in 2020. Do not miss that call, 8 o'clock Monday. Tuesday at 9 o'clock, same conference bridge. We have our January monthly kickoff call. You're going to hear from some of the top leaders in the world of VNI about what they're doing and what their vision is for the new year and what they're doing to get off to a great start. A lot of you are already off to a great start. I want to give a high five over our meeting room, our video conference here, to Lisa Turner, who has gotten off to an amazing start. You talk about hitting the ground running in the new year. Her business is expanding. She's got some really wonderful things happening. In fact, I'm actually doing a call with her and one of her new partners coming up right after this training. So stay plugged in. Just like your smartphone or your computer, if you don't plug in, you run out of power. And the same is true in your VNI business. Stay plugged in. Number 2, do something positive every day to build and grow your business. Do something positive every day. You know, vision's important. Where you want to go, what you want to achieve. Goals are important, because you set goals that are within sight, that take you incrementally closer towards that vision. But I'll tell you what's even more important. This gets back to the book recommendation that I passed on from Heather Dannenberg, Atomic Habits. What's even more important, the goal's important because it determines direction. So we set goals. With VNI, a goal is really a pin level with a date attached to it. I want to go associate manager by next Friday. I want to go manager by the end of January. I want to go, executive manager in February. A goal gives you direction moving towards that vision, that dream that you've set for yourself and your family. But what's more important than the goal are your daily habits, the process, the activity that you're doing every day. And so that's where do something positive every day to grow your VNI business. That might be making one phone call. It might be sharing a video from the VNI Life app with one of your contacts. When you're living life this day, this weekend, this month, and this year, think about having your radar up and listen for people talking about needs and desires. Needs and desires, okay? Needs and desires in terms of their health and wellness. New Year's resolutions to lose weight, New Year's resolutions to get in better shape, to start working out, to maybe start walking 3 or 4 times a week. New Year's resolutions. Think about people talking needs and desires. Think about people talking about having challenges sleeping. I mentioned this when Bill and I led the product and business overview Thursday night. One of the things that we need to be talking about more as a team is Nzorb and the reality that it helps with sleep. Everyone, and y'all seen this on our marketing material, every one of our participants in our clinical study reported better, deeper sleep. fewer interruptions, sleeping deeper, sleeping longer, sleeping better. That's with Enzorb. Think about stress. Think about stress or anxiety, or being overwhelmed, and think about brain reward or our brain reward Restoragen combination and how that can bless people. Think about, as you're listening and living life, needs and desires. Think about all the people, again, that are looking for opportunity for some financial change. There are a lot of people that are starting 2020 that they hoped 2019 was going to be a breakthrough year, and it wasn't. And they're in the same or worse position financially beginning 2020 than they were 12 months ago. And so our job is to sharing and caring with a smile on your face and love in your heart. That's what we do. And so do something positive every day to build and grow your VNI business. That the daily habits, atomic habits, the daily habits compound over time and create momentum that you can't imagine. I've said it before, and most of you have heard me. Consistency creates momentum, and momentum is sustained through consistency. Do something. Share what you've heard us say. 2 a day, 10 in play. 2 exposures, your share activity. Share VNI with 2 people a day, and you'll have 10 people actively looking in the process, and your business is going to grow. If that's too robust for you, then 1 a day, 5 in play. 1 exposure a day, 5 days a week. Take the weekends off and watch what happens in 2020. Take responsibility. One of the mindsets that we want to encourage you to adopt with your own VNI business is to take responsibility for your business. If it is to be, it's up to me. And folks, that's not the normal mindset of the human population. The normal mindset is things aren't the way I want it, and it's your fault. It's his fault. It's the company's fault. It's my upline's fault. It's my downline's fault. If I could just get my downline to do something, if I could just get my partners to go to work, you got to lead by example. What oftentimes in my experience, and I've lived it myself, when my team is not working, it's because I've duplicated myself. It's because I'm not sharing. Lead by example, self-leadership like we talked about. So take responsibility for your business. If it is to be, it's up to me. That's a mindset that will actually set you free. Authenticity, be you. Now here's the key, be the best version of you. It's about progress, not perfection. But if that's part of the VNI brand, that's part of our brand identity. It's one of the things that separates us, as we're being a lighthouse, as we're being a beacon of light to help a world that needs it. And if you're brand new, this is our mission statement: assisting people in becoming beacons of health, hope, and abundance. That's what the lighthouse is, beacons of light. And so when we talk about self-leadership, we want you to be authentic. #real is what we want you to be, and that's who we are as a company. Under promise, over deliver. Say what you mean what you say. Let your yes be yes, your no be no. And authenticity, that's something, again, not to be preachy, but that's something that we all, and I think that hopefully gives you encouragement that as we learn from each other, we incorporate ideas and principles into our own our own personality, our own authentic self. Commit to personal growth. We've talked about this, but it literally is that important. Leaders are learners. If you want to go to the next level, you have to grow to the next level. A lot of people say, hey, my business isn't growing. What do I need to do? Well, one of the things that absolutely all of us should do, and I work on it every day, is have a personal growth plan. Be reading from good books, listening to good audio programs. Again, leadership, we must first learn to lead ourselves. I wish the VNI team had a sample booth out in front, out across the street, because I'm telling you, I've never seen more joggers and walkers in my life. I've lived here 2 years. It's unreal. All right, leadership. We must first learn to lead ourselves. A lot of people are looking for change, and they need you to share VNI with them to create that change. Leader of one, leader of many. If you can't lead one, you can't lead any. Okay, so that's talking about leader of one, leader of many. If you can't lead one yourself, you can't lead any. So so no matter what our goals are in building a customer base with VNI and building a partner team and teaching and shepherding and coaching those folks to create a customer base and build their own business, one of the things that will always deliver an ROI to you, return on investment, is working on developing and leading yourself more effectively. Now, quick tip. Each time you connect with one of your customers or your partners, recognize it's an opportunity to encourage and to build belief. Encourage and build belief. I had a great catch-up call with Rebecca Sidden, Director Rebecca Sidden, yesterday evening. And we were talking about this. We were talking about the importance of, which she does an amazing job. She talked specifically about calling Gina and Ed, but I think this particular conversation, it was mostly with Gina. And she talked about the encouragement that Gina gives her, the encouragement that when she's had good things happen, she shares it with Gina and Ed. When she's had a challenging day, she shares it. She gets that encouragement, and that's one of the privileges of leadership, is to look at every text exchange, every phone call interaction, every in-person meeting, every video conference as an opportunity to encourage and build belief. And if you're having a crazy day, leadership tip, and if that particular moment's crazy and one of your partners calls you, if you can't encourage and focus on encouraging and build belief, let the call go to voicemail and get back to them when you've got a better time. You always want to encourage and build belief. You don't want to ever be short or grumpy with your partners. Okay, you got it's part of leadership. It's part of leadership. Okay, now vision questions. What do you want out of your VNI business, and what do you want to accomplish? Now I'm going to go through. We've covered kind of this in some other ways, so I'm going to go a little bit quicker. Dream big dreams. Have a vision of where you want to go. 5 years, 3 years, 1 year. Where do you want to be by the end of 2020? What do you want to accomplish? And why is that important to you? Okay. Then break that down to January. Folks, this is the key. Break your vision, break your goals down to bite size. I believe you should build your VNI business, from my own experience, in 30-day sprints. 30-day sprints. Set a goal for January and work towards that goal, and focus on your daily habits. Focus on that daily activity that's going to make that goal a reality. Ask yourself, what's holding you back? What's keeping you from reaching your potential with VNI? And then get with your upline success coach. Get with me. I'm available for coaching calls with our team. Put a plan in place that helps you proactively address this. And this gets back to, if you'll remember, the self-leadership message I talked about that I went through early yesterday morning. Decision 1, I will not lie to myself. So what's holding you back? What plan can you put in place to help you address this? And that's one of those things, it's very easy when you realize, maybe it's procrastination. Maybe it's I'm afraid to get them out of comfort zone. Maybe it's, I'm working cold market because I'm really scared to talk to people I know because I don't have the belief in myself or the products like I should. Whatever it is. We don't teach cold market because cold market doesn't duplicate. Now, there are exceptions. If you've got professional experience in the world of sales, business development, and you have extraordinary skills to be able to call on chiropractors or healthcare practitioners or fitness owners, then we'll incorporate that into your plan. But that's not usually the case. When people try to build the VNI business cold market, it's because their belief level's not high enough. Their conviction's not high. And so it's easy, they're taking rejection personally, and that's what needs to be addressed. It doesn't need to be tiptoed around. Can you build the business cold market? You can have some results cold market, but I will tell you, in 30 years in this space, relationship marketing, influencer marketing. I've never seen cold market duplicate, meaning I build it cold market. I teach somebody else how to build it cold. They build it cold, and I build a whole organization, everybody doing cold market. It's too expensive. You have to have far better skills. Think about this. If the goal was, if here was the challenge today, I challenge you in the spirit of partnership to schedule a coffee meeting, just a cup of coffee. We're not even talking about VNI, a cup of coffee with someone. And I give you two paths to run on. And one path is cold market. Just walk up to strangers, walk into the grocery store, walk into the mall, stop, people at traffic lights and just say, hey, would you like to have a cup of coffee? How many people are you going to have to talk to before somebody says, yeah, I'll have a cup of coffee with you? Versus taking your phone and looking at your contacts and picking up the phone and calling a neighbor and saying, hey, you got a minute this afternoon? Let's grab a cup of coffee. Which is easier? Which is more predictable? Which can you teach and train somebody else to do? Think about that. And yet we've got wonderful men and women in the VNI family that are chasing butterflies working cold market. And we don't teach cold market. If you want to talk more about that, call me. All right. What's holding you back? Is it cold market? Is it because you're not being coachable and you're trying to reinvent the wheel and you're talking to strangers instead of sharing VNI with your neighbor across the street? What's holding you back? And let's put a plan in place. Get with your upline success coach, directors or above, and put a plan in place that addresses that. No need to tiptoe around the elephant in the living room. Let's hit it head on and create a breakthrough for you. Okay, the how of achieving your VNI vision with VNI is all about your share activity. This is what we're going to spend the rest of our time on. It's all about your share activity. How many new people have you shared the VNI products with and or the VNI business with today, this week, this month? How many people? Your share activity. That's where, we talk about the vision that you want to create for yourself this year. Then we talk about your dream, your vision. Then we talk about setting goals that moves you in the direction of those dreams. But then it gets down to your daily habits. And your daily habits, what you really want to focus on is the process of your share activity. If you will just focus on that, everything else takes care of itself. And if you'll create good habits of consistently sharing VNI, using the VNI Life app, using the tools and the resources that we've provided for you, you'll be amazed at what happens to the growth of your business. You'll be amazed. Just ask Lisa Turner. It works. Okay? The opportunity's there. You're at the right place at the right time. Please recognize it and then take action. The action is the share activity. The action is the share activity. It's having a mindset that, you know what, the world needs VNI. It really does. The world will be blessed. The more people we have consuming these products on a daily basis, the healthier the world is going to be. That's an absolute fact. Absolute fact. So share activity is the key. Now, there's trainings on the VNI Life app, how to share part 1, 2, and 3. If you haven't gone through that, I want to encourage you to do that. Recognize that sharing activity is impact activity. Impact activity, meaning it is the absolute most important thing that you could do to grow your VNI business. It's more important than pulling all of your partners together. Some of these wonderful men and women maybe haven't done anything in 8 months and doing a training. Okay? Training, you can't train your team to growth. You lead your team to growth. Training's only important if you're working with a team that's actually taking action. But it's hard to train and inspire people that aren't passionate about what they're doing, that don't have a vision for what they're trying to create with VNI. So I'm not saying look what we're doing today. We believe in training, but training is not as important as sharing. Leading by example with your share activity is the most important impact activity you could ever do. Please remember that. Please remember that. People will do what you do, not what you teach. Again, authenticity. When you're teaching from a place of authenticity, you've got moral authority, you've got influence with your team. That's what leadership is. But if I'm trying to teach you something I've never done or I'm not doing, that's not effective. So be intentional with your sharing. Share with a purpose. Recognize if you're brand new, and even for our leaders, it's a sorting process, not a convincing process. Okay, said differently, we're looking for people who are looking for better health physically, better health financially. We're looking to meet people's needs and desires. We're looking for people who want more out of life. We're sorting and we're looking for people that have a need or desire that we can help them with. If you will remember some of these bullet points, and if you'll remind yourself daily of these bullet points, you're going to be amazed at the type of growth you create in January for the whole year. Okay? Say less to more people. Say less to more people. Too many, and I'll say from my own experience, in my career, relationship marketing, I have shared with individuals, and then I stop sharing with new people, and I keep circling back by that one person. And I might have one or two people that in any given month that are actively looking, in this case at VNI. Don't do that. Say less to more people. Again, 2 a day, 10 in play, or 1 a day, 5 in play would be a wonderful share activity goal for part-time leaders. Okay. Consistency creates momentum. We've talked about that. The process is invite people to learn about the VNI products, share the information, and follow up. Invite, share, follow up. We talked about 2 a day, 10 in play, 2 shares a day, and you'll have 10 active people at various stages of looking at the VNI products and the VNI business. And when you have that level of activity and you create consistency, okay, again, it's the process, it's the daily habits, 2 a day, 10 in play. That concept right there will explode your business if you teach and train your team this and you lead by example. 2 a day, 10 in play. Folks, you could take 30 minutes every day. You can share VNI with 2 new people, 30 minutes a day. Because we're not sitting down and spending an hour and a half telling them about protozoan technology and everything you can think of about the product. You're having a conversation. Make a friend, find a need, transfer the feeling, find a desire. You're having a conversation and then you're sharing. Again, we teach you how to do that in more detail on the how to share part 1, 2, and 3. But you want to keep it simple. Say less to more people. 2 a day, 10 in play. If you will teach and train that, lead by example, watch what happens over the next couple months. If that's too much for you, 1 a day, 5 in play. There is not a person on the planet. You're talking that's 10 to 15 minutes a day, maybe 30 minutes a day if you look at follow-up calls, and you'll be amazed at what happens to your business, okay? Now, invite, share, follow up. What are the sharing tools and resources? How do you share? Okay, if you're brand new, it's important for you to understand that we've got tools and resources that are going to do the heavy lifting for you, okay? You've got the VNI Life app with the videos on each of the products. You've got the 5-minute product overview video. You've got the 10-minute video that goes through the products and the opportunity. Okay, that's the video that Lisa Turner shared with her friend that came on board yesterday and joined the team as a partner. We've got the videos that are embedded in the app. We do Zoom presentations. We've got them live and recorded. We've got product brochures. I hope you've seen the new PDFs, the new product PDFs on your VNI Life app. Amazing content. I mean, beautiful tools. We're seeing those are becoming along with the videos, one of the most used shared resources, getting great feedback. The product PDFs, Hopefully you know where that is. If you don't, you know what, I'm going to go real quick right now. Excuse me. All right, let me load my app. Okay, I'm on, this is my app, which is connected to the corporate website. Okay, here we go. Partner tools, PDF for customers. Can you see that? PDF for customers. And you've got the ProDivide PDF, the Insorb, the Brain Reward, the Thon Extra. I mean, it's next level stuff. I don't know if you've seen it. I'm going to pull it up real quick. It's a 2-pager. I don't know if you can see this very well, but it's very clean. The marketing team's done an amazing job. Very clean 2-pager. Whoops, what am I doing? How come oh, there we go. Okay, let's try it again. 2-pager, that's on ProDivide. It is an amazing tool, folks. So the reason I wanted to share that is let the tools do the sorting. We talk about the fact that it's a sorting process, not a convincing process. So let these tools, these resources, do the work. You're like the tour guide. Invite, share using the tools, and then follow up. We're looking for people that are looking. The marketing website that's connected to your VNI Life app, your marketing website. Launch events, folks, I've been talking about this for a couple of months. Only a couple of you have taken me up on this. You want to grow, and I say this with love and respect, if you want to grow fast in 2020, start doing launch events. Call me if you want to know how. Special events like the VNI Vision Tour and the Victory Tour. We do the Victory Tour in the spring, the Vision Tour in the fall. Those are events that happen both spring and fall that you can use to invite people to learn about who we are. 3-way calls with one of your upline success coaches. That is such an important way. You can do a meeting or a 3-way call, and that's a great way to share, particularly after they've seen an initial video. Have your contact do a 3-way call or an individual meeting with your upline success coach. Now, we're heading down the home stretch here. I've got one more slide to go through. Remember, less is more. Remember, less is more, folks. I can't emphasize this enough. And what I mean by that is don't do the mistake that I've made of overloading people with too much information. And hear me on this, 99% of the human population, if you share too much information, guess what they're going to look at? Nothing, because they're overloaded. They think, I don't have time. But if you share one thing, and make sure they know, hey, I'm going to forward you a 5-minute video, or I'm going to forward you, a 2-minute video on our new GARS Restorage and DNA Design Nutrition. Less is more. And then follow up. The next step is, and then share something else. Don't overload people with videos and brochures. And that's the reason we designed the VNI Life app, to only share one resource at a time. It's to try to help you and your team stay focused on being more effective, okay? Now, increasing your share effectiveness. Actually, I've got 2 slides better. Sharing will create results. Give me 5 more minutes after this and we're done. Sharing will create results. Sharing effectively will create better results. So when you share the VNI products, when you share the VNI business, you're going to add new customers and new partners. When you share, combined with an understanding of the needs and desires of the person you're talking to, you're gonna be more effective. Okay, so sharing combined with understanding the needs and desires of the person you're talking to, you do that by asking questions and listening, is going to help you be more effective. Sharing plus the needs and desires plus sharing your own story, your own belief in the VNI products and the model is going to help you be the absolute most effective. Okay? So I'm going to say that one more time for those that are on the phone, because we got a big call. We got a lot of participation today, and I'm excited. Increasing your share effectiveness. Remember, we talked about share activity is impact activity. So how to share better. Sharing by itself, you're going to get results. By just literally sharing, using the VNI Life app, sharing, you might share with 20 people and you have 1 customer and 1 partner. It might be whatever your numbers are. But you can share more effectively when you share combined with understanding the needs and desires of the person you're sharing with. you might share with 20 and all of a sudden you've got 3 customers or 4 customers and 2 partners. Okay, so you're more effective. When you share plus understand the needs and desires plus get good at sharing with authenticity your story, your belief in the VNI products, then that's going to even help you be more effective. You share with 20, the numbers might even be better. So pay attention to that. If you're brand new, don't get overloaded. Just recognize the more you do this, the better you're going to get. Focus on progress, not perfection. Enjoy the journey. Now, last but not least, invite, share, follow up. If you will combine what we've just talked about with timely and effective follow-up, the sky's the limit. The fortune really is in the follow-up. Okay? You want to follow up. You want to influence people into making the right decision for them. So your follow-up is not about being pushy. It's about influencing people in a way that's good for them. You got to have that belief and conviction. We've got the clinical studies, 48 peer-reviewed published clinical studies that prove irrefutably what we already know. And that is that these products help people. So influence, have confidence, have boldness, be patient with the process. Take people at their own time. Don't overload them. Don't hound them. So influence versus pushy, patient versus impatient, confident versus panicked and needy. So you want to be confident. Have some posture. Not arrogance, but confidence. Have some posture, belief in these amazing products. And when you're following up, I expect people to place an order. You should expect people to place an order. You don't want to be chasing people around from a position of weakness like, please, please, please do me a favor. No, you're doing them a favor by introducing them to the VNI products. Have a positive expectancy when you share. Be relational. Even if they say no, it's no for now. Never burn bridges unless you choose to because they're rude or disrespectful. But be relational. Sometimes it's just the timing in people's life. So keep the door open. Hey, listen, I know the time's not right now. With your blessing, I'd love to follow up with you, every few months or so and keep you posted on some of the things that are going on with our products and our company. Would that be okay? People are going to say yes. You can always ask for referrals in the follow-up too. But the main thing, and this is what I want to close with, the main thing is I want you to memorize this simple phrase. The next step is. So remember the process, the sharing process, I call this the pattern of activity, is invite, share, follow up. Invite people to learn about the VNI products and business. Share the information. Follow up. Less is more. So when you say that, hey, the next step is, I want to introduce you. Next step is I want to forward you a brochure on Protivite that we were talking about. And I want to get you on the phone with one of my partners who's built an amazing customer base and can answer some of your additional questions. How's that sound? What's your schedule look like tonight or tomorrow? Okay, so the next step is you're moving people towards a good yes, or you're moving people towards a good no. It's a sorting process, not a convincing process, okay? So enjoy the process. Get good at the pattern of activity. Focus. You've got your vision. Hopefully, if not, set it. Set your vision and your dream of what you want to accomplish and why that's important. Set goals, which is a pen level with a date attached to it. The goals provide direction towards those dreams, towards that vision. But then focus on your daily habits. Focus on your share activity and execute on that share activity. 2 a day, 10 in play. 2 a day, 10 in play. Lead by example and teach and train and encourage your team to do the same thing. All right, folks, we've covered a lot of information. I'm going to stop the screen share. Let's make, Bill just did 48 studies and growing. So this has been great. Listen, I'm very excited for all of us for this year. I really am. We've got a foundation, 6 years old as a company, but ground floor as an opportunity. So we do an amazing job with adding customers. Let's keep doing that. But look for partners, folks. Make no mistake, to grow like you're capable of growing in 2020, you need to attract influencer partners that can help us carry the flag and spread this brand around the world. So God bless. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Let's go and grow. And we'll be with you Monday night at 8 o'clock for the monthly product call with our founder and CEO, Bill Downs, and our co-founder and head of research and development, Steve Kushner. Have an awesome day. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.